In the 10 years I've been involved in freestyle, I've obviously had a lot of fun. The competitions are a blast, and I look forward to them all year. Professional competitions are overrated. Like it or not, life is a series of competitions. You may be competing for a grade, a spot on a team, a job, or the largest account in town. The higher your self-esteem is, the better you get along with yourself, with others, and the more you'll accomplish. It was just crazy opportunity to see that whole world and the competitions that we had in the film, like Long Beach. It was just crazy and so much fun. I felt like I lived all those moments in the movie. Actually, I have never been a great fan of martial arts competitions. Not even when I was training martial arts myself. I went to national piano competitions and did that whole circuit. Then I played professionally to support myself when I moved out to LA. If you ever want to know why I'm not on a record label, look at The X Factor. Honestly, of all the people that strive to break barriers in music and do good things and write great lyrics, not one of them would ever pass the first round on any of these competitions. I used to do a lot of serious theater during my school and college days. Comedy was only reserved for youth festival and inter-college competitions. Then once the Great Indian Laughter Challenge was launched, a regional channel in Punjab started a program based on that. I participated in it and emerged as the winner. The Olympic Games must not be an end in itself, they must be a means of creating a vast program of physical education and sports competitions for all young people. I would see b-boys breakdancing in the hallway. I thought it was cool. I started practicing in my living room, then started battling, and then I joined a crew, and we started getting into competitions. In fact, we still battle, for fun now. When I was a teenager, me and a couple of my friends entered a couple of modeling competitions just for fun, and one of those got me an agent in Sydney. I grew up in dance studios. I was forced to be in several numbers in recitals and dance competitions. I took one tap class, literally one class, and then I quit. So I had the opportunity to do what the kids in the Hershey program do, except that the Hershey program lets them do it on such a larger scale, with the regional and national competitions. My dad was in the military, yeah. He was in the Air Force, and he was a doctor, so he would go places for 6 months here, and 2 years there. And I was homeschooled because I played the violin, and I did a lot of competitions. Vancouver is an amazing city, and luckily, growing up in the Seattle area, I was able to immerse myself into the culture at a young age, traveling back and forth across the border for skating competitions as a youngster. I listen to music before my competitions to get me pumped up. It helps me stay focused. I sang a lot as a little girl and entered competitions. I loved singing in choirs, but it was as I got older that I really found my voice. I started acting when I was, 5 in monologue competitions at this private elementary school. I'm a trained fine artist. I went to art school from the time I was 5 years old. I was, a prodigy out of Chicago. I'd been in national competitions from the age of 14. When I was training, I trained with my younger brother Brady. I would wrestle some of my friends, who I had grown up with, which showed me some moves, but it was never a full-on match. When I went to competitions, there were other girls, so I always wrestled girls. Fitness has always been one of my strengths. I can do all the long-distance runs. When I was at school and we entered the competitions, I used to do the 100m, 200m, and the 1500m as well, so it's never just been a pace thing. When it comes to cup competitions and the Champions League, it's always about going as far as we can. Getting out of the group stage is the first objective, then after that, we will see. That's what really makes great skating competitions, when you have 2 top skaters in good form giving superb performances. Outside boxing, I did well in cross-country competitions and I won a schoolboys doubles badminton tournament at once. I was pleased because it was a hobby to me. VK is famous for its competitions among third-party developers who build alternative versions of VK on its open API. I'm always trying to figure out ways to one-up everyone, and that's what I love about competitions. I love challenging myself and pushing the envelope. I did Oh Holy Night, which is one that I grew up listening to because I was in choir in high school and we would do Christmas concerts and competitions every year. My driver Kelly Frost and I would race these fellows home and they were always faster on the highway. We did the same with Daniel and his driver, and thus began a long series of jokes and competitions to alleviate the impossible hours and tensions this film provoked. Over the years, I observed that many talented graphic designers, including those in my own family, had difficulty getting their designs to market. I thought it would be possible to hold open stationery design competitions where all designers could participate. We have a host of English teachers in the family. My mom is an English teacher, and so are my dad, my aunt and my uncle. I have grown up with family writing competitions, and I can't remember a birthday or Christmas present that didn't include books. Competitions are a business, first and foremost. But my middle daughter, Kate, is very involved in martial arts, and I was just at one of her competitions. There is a conception about me that I am a playback singer and I sing for albums or for films only, but my roots are in bhajans. Even when I was in school, I used to win competitions for ghazals and bhajans. Designs are increasingly winning competitions because they are literally green, and because somewhere they feature a small windmill. I've always had a loud mouth, and for that I've gotten a lot of attention. I did falter in some big competitions in my career, but being counted out and not being seen as a threat is something I'm used to. I wish I could compete again, but my good feeling is, these competitions are better as exhibitions. I've always written. When I was in school, the only teacher who ever liked me was my creative writing teacher. I used to enter poetry competitions, and I don't think I ever lost one. So I had the idea for a while of being some kind of poet. I had 12 years of classical music as a child, playing piano competitions as a teenager, playing in blues bands and rock and roll bands, country and jazz bands. I played in about any situation. I was always a showgirl. My parents were wonderful. There wasn't a lot going on where we lived, but they ferried me to classes and competitions all over the place. When I was 12, I came to London as a finalist in a singing competition and I was completely wide-eyed. Competitions make me nervous. When I go out on the ice, I just think about my skating and not, I have to do this to win. I forget it is a competition. Yes, I am the Olympic champion, but this is not the end of it. I want all the gold that there is out there, everything that exists in figure skating, in all events, in all competitions. I had some great times doing competitions, but I have always been more into making movies because making movies is more about art and expressing yourself in a creative way. At the very least we should be given a bit of credit and a little bit of space, and maybe the media should think we could help them discover why English teams do not win European competitions. When I was young, many people didn't know what figure skating was. Some who knew of it thought of it as dancing on ice. But, as I entered international competitions and got good results, many people got to know more about it and came to cheer for me. Me whole life, me whole childhood, me whole growing up, the competitions I went for and the weekends doing the dancing and all the shows, was to be a singer. I think rap in the street when they have rap competitions is thrilling because these kids are making it up and having a go at each other. They've got something to say. This is about getting their frustrations out. I don't rank competitions. Every single one is the Olympics to me. It's a pretty heavy thing that happens to me when I'm at competitions. I get so sucked in, I can't really turn it off. I was very good in math and physics. In the Soviet time, we had a lot of Olympic-style competitions for different disciplines. I was always winning in my region. Most other competitions are individual achievements, but the Olympic Games is something that belongs to everybody. Visit our website for more quotes, quoting.com.